As a citizen, I'd like to address the brownout situation. You know, I've done a lot of work on the Snake River dams in 2 states, contacted multiple congressmen in 4 states. These dams support the power that we need to keep our homes cool. And Chairman Didier, you mentioned what happens on the canals if those go out. Think about air conditioning. You can ask any local air conditioning person. I've got 2 owners in my neighborhood, all in one in Campbell. When an air conditioning unit goes out, it's hard to replace. It's $5,000–$10,000. We've had to do it, and there's houses here and people that live here that are much poorer. I find the timing odd when the orcas and fish are doing well that suddenly we have a brownout. I find that odd. And I appreciate the previous presentation by Columbia Basin. There is not a single word spoken to what's going on in the court. And I urge you to contact, not carry the water for, but contact Darrell Olson at Columbia Basin Irrigators. He represents over 300 municipalities, including the city of Pasco, and many farmers and producers. A land was just bought by LDS. Bill Gates is in secondhand for the Easter Day settlement, and they can lose everything. I would ask that my county government, and I want to go to the PUD and say, look, if there's some guy that turns off a camera and signs 2 bills that aren't reconciled and tries to put them into record, is telling us what to do, I'm telling you, the West Side houses don't have air conditioning. They're going to hotels that already have it. So it's not a bulk of civilian compacted population over there that's needing more power. It's the power right here to finish producing our food, to protect our citizens. And I can't help but being incensed, and I'm sorry for the elevation of my voice. But this is unacceptable. I would ask that you direct Keith to go back to the PUD, to the city, to the councils of governments, and say no. We are not going to accept any brownouts. It is not acceptable. We need this power now, and if you need to tell Kathy McMorris and Dan Newhouse that as well, that's what we should be doing. I appreciate saving power. Absolutely, we should be doing those things. But I'm not going to go back to the Jimmy Carter days of standing in line for basic necessities when the dams have the power. There's no less power now than there ever was. We have one of the fastest growing counties in the state, and we have the power to cool them right now. That's what they were for. That's why they said solar and wind will not pick this up. Are they going to freeze us out in winter too? I'm asking my leadership, my representation, all of you, to circle the wagons with every other municipality and say no to Bonneville, unless they want, maybe, I don't think I'm exaggerating, they want dead bodies on their hands. I ask you to reconsider. And I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable. And Mr. Simpson needs to know it's unacceptable too. And finally, I am running for school board, and I've identified 2 things. They had a problem with their scheduling where the Hispanic families decided to stay at home because they were scared of the COVID thing and didn't have a full understanding, okay? And they had scheduling issues with people coming back to school. This was a perfect opportunity for the Benton Franklin transit system to assist people in need. And had I been there, I would have definitely directed that because I know what you guys have been working on. Secondly, they're creating hotspots where I don't want to accuse the PUD of anything because I think they're a very strong working entity in our area. But we're supposed to have connectivity clear out where they're putting hotspots. I don't think online is going away. I personally support in-person far more. But if our farmers can't even come and listen to these meetings or the city and know what's going on, or their children be able to have education opportunities, and the school system's now paying for power, the PUD needs to raise that as a priority. So thank you for the time. I'm hoping within my 3 minutes, irrigation districts with the development and the developers and the homeowners. My husband, Don Andrews, got an irrigation district to where we live on Road 77, and all those people were given the option of having irrigation. So in those plantings that you were talking about earlier, I highly recommend that. Thank you for your time.
Any other comment?
Just a quick observation. A little bit of research I've done suggests there's no shortage of power. It's infrastructure, substations, and the capacity to move power when the lines are as hot as they are. So if anybody wants to follow up, the PUD is a good source for that information.